Sorry, got cut off. But I went out there for another best friend of mine, and it was fine. You know what I'm saying? Like it was okay. I was where I was staying was okay. It was, a couple hiccups that I do believe that her and I eventually will speak about. But right now we're just I'm okay with what it is. You know what I mean? Like but I knew that I quit my job in December because I did not want to work for anybody else. So when I went to Florida and I got a management position, shout out to the people I use as references and you guys, did me right. Um, it didn't work, basically. So third day into the job, about a week into actually physically living in Florida, I packed up my car and I came back to Georgia. And I'm just a person that I don't depend on people. I don't like to depend on people. I like to figure it out myself. And I was in a position where I was having to ask for help, and I'm one of those people that if I feel some type of way, if I ask you for any assistance, then I'll never ask you for it again. And you won't ever have to worry about me asking for it. And you won't even have to worry about continuing on with what you said you was gonna do. Like I will cease that right then and there and keep it moving. And for me, that's kind of what it was. It wasn't what I expected, and so I came back home because I had my whole place. I have a 2 bedroom, 2 bath unit out here in Lawrenceville, and I told myself like, Rachel, you got your own spot where you been living and being fine. You have a plan. You had a plan. That's why you quit your job, and you turned around and you came out to Florida and you deviated from your plan. So I came back home. Thank God for my best friend because I was in a little bit of a pickle, starting a new salary paying job. And, I was doing DoorDash out there because, like I said, I don't like to ask nobody for nothing. So I made sure I fed myself, clothed myself, and everything. Came back home. Immediately, I started my boutique. I applied for all my licenses. I went to go pick up a check from the tax office, and as soon as I got the money, I just turned around, I opened up everything, ordered my first set of inventory, and, went hard. And yeah, it's been slow, what I mean? But through coaching and all that, I believe it's going to take off. Let me see, what else has been going on with my life? I've had family issues. I'm kind of, feel like I've always been the kind of the black sheep of the family. So the fact that I'm sorry, the bottle almost fell over. The fact that I feel like I'm considered the black sheep because I'm the one that does crazy things, have all the tattoos and piercings, and don't care what nobody says in the family. Like I don't care who approves it, who does not approve it, because at the end of the day, like I tell my moms and I tell my pops, I'm the one that have to live this life. I'm the one who has to answer before whoever my creator is, whoever I believe my creator is. And I am Christian. I tell a lot of guys I talk to, I'm Christian. I'm just not religious. I love the churches, but I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. But it's just, it's been an amazing journey because I've really had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and I'm going to touch on a lot of those stuff, as I go on. I tell myself, Rachel, post 2 videos at least a month, just to show an update. I have a trip coming up next week, and I'm just like, I want to highlight the good and the bad parts about this journey because the stigma behind life after divorce, honestly, is not a good one. They always show people falling apart and all this crazy stuff and how you can't make it after certain. Listen, I remember October the 8th of 2018, when me and my ex-husband had made an agreement. I was living in a 1 bedroom apartment then, and I had left him. October, not October, September of 2018, right? We had decided to make it work in September 2018. But prior to that, we were separated for 4 months. And we went out of town July 2018 to Florida with him and his children. And he was still texting other females and all that crazy stuff, right? Came back, decided to make it work in September because my best friend Marquise, my old male best friend Marquise, came out here. And it was crazy. I'm not gonna get into detail right now, but we decided to make it work. And in October, because I was doing it by myself, at that point, I had just got promoted to a supervisor position, not even a manager, supervisor position. So my pay had increased significantly. And don't mind the tongue twisting. I've been drinking Long Island's, but let's see. And October the 8th, we decided that we was gonna go ahead and pack up our 1 bedroom, move into a hotel, and we was gonna rotate weeks of paying it so that way we could get into a house that was big enough for me, him, and his 3 children. So October the 9th, he went off to work, and I got messages from somebody saying that he was sending dick pics and all this crazy stuff the night before, the night that we moved in. So when I told him that, you know what, I'm done, you gotta go, you know what he did? He decided to stay with his side chick, at the hotel that she was staying in the hood. And here's the thing, I'm a hood person, but I'm not hood. I'm not gonna stay in the hood. I'm not one of those people that want to stay in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, October the 9th, 2018, he made the decision to stay where he was, and I made the decision that I was not going to allow anybody else to let me lose anything. So I was staying in a hotel October the 8th till December the 14th. So for almost 2.5 months, I was staying in a hotel. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at my old occupational medicine job, and I was working as an instructor at this medical assistant school as their lab instructor. So I was teaching other medical assistants how to do what I learned, 2 years prior to that. And through all of that, I got myself out of the hole I was in. I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Norcross. Did not like where I was. I decided that I was gonna move to Florida just to get away from all of it, because I was just such in a bad sunken place. If you ever watched Get Out, like that's how I felt. Like I was in a black hole falling further and further. I got a job out in Florida, in St. Petersburg. I got a townhome out there. I had my car. I was good. I was gonna work 2 jobs. My job at the time decided to give me a raise, so I decided to stay. And so through that process, that was 2019 now, right? Because I was gonna leave May of 2019. So I got my place in December, bought in the new year with my friend Nudie. And then in May, I decided that I was gonna move right before my birthday. I had the U-Haul already scheduled for pickup. Whole place was packed. Resignation went in. I was officially not an employee of May 17th. You know what I'm saying? Like I was not an employee. And shout out to my old boss, DG, we'll call him. And he came and he made sure that I was taken care of. Like people think that because you're strong, you don't fall. You know what I'm saying? And I had hit a place where car note was past due, car insurance was non-existent, rent past due. Like it was just like I was trying to play catch up, because at that time he got locked up for violating parole, and I was still talking to him, still putting money on his, not putting money on his books, I never put money on his books, but I was paying, to speak to him. It was insane. So I'm gonna circle this around to what I was saying. I just made a decision that no one would ever take me back to where I went to, and this is the reason I don't want to be with him anymore. Because at the time I needed him the most, he left, and then got locked up behind some bull crap. And then I'm crazy. And then turned around and left that place and came here. So it took a lot to get me to where I'm at right now. So when I packed up to move to Florida again, I wasn't moving because, I woke up one day and said, I want to be in Florida. I was traveling back and forth. I quit my job in December to be a full-on entrepreneur because I went to real estate school. By the way, I failed the test the first time. Excuse me, it was crazy. I failed it because they allowed you to take the test, without all the extraness, whatever. Failed it. Needless to say. I had lost my car. It was crazy. Like, I had went out of town to go training in 2019. All this happened last year now. So 2019 in August, I went out of town with my job to Kansas City to train some employees in the new offices that we had out there. We have out there. They have out there, since I'm no longer technically with them. And I came back, and literally maybe a day after I came back, my car was I caught a flat, paid a tow $150 to get towed, paid to get new tires, and turned around the next day and my car got repoed for being less than 30 days late. So I just figured that it wasn't meant for me to have the vehicle. I went without a car, and I was getting back and forth to real estate school. So shout out to the people that, you know, helped me during that journey also. You know, it's nothing wrong with being strong and needing help. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody says I've reached this level of success on my own, that's bullshit. Because someone had to be with you to walk the path, or, you know, everybody that we meet along our journey serves a purpose. You know, not everybody is meant to be in your life forever. So yeah, all of that was last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, all in 1 year, all of that happened. And, you know, so I thank God for sustaining me, you know what I mean? Because I was able to pack up, move to Florida. Because even after I quit my job, I was able to get a brand new 2016 Kia. And I don't want to close the door, but the breeze feels so good. So I'll deal with the little bugs flying in, because I can kill them later. But I can't stand a stuffy house. Anyway, if you see me keep squinting, that's why. It's like this little one small bug that just likes being around me, and I had to cover my drink. Anyway, I done been through some things. But I'm so happy of where I'm at now. And, you know, it's still uncertain, but today is my year anniversary of having this, you know, YouTube page. And I created it as the therapy, like an online journal, sort of say, with people that I don't know, people that I do know, that want to hear about what happened and want to know how I made it through. Because so many people hit depression and don't make it out, you know. And I'm glad that I had, in one of the videos you saw, my homeboy Devon, he was my boss. Honestly, we were coworkers, and he's the one that told me that I needed to seek, you know, therapy. And I'm grateful for that every day, because now anytime I talk to anybody, I don't care who it is, and, you know, they start talking about signs of depression that I'm aware of, you know, I voice it and say that I think that you need to go to get some professional help, because there's some things that other people can't really help you through, especially if you're not comfortable with the person, or comfortable with letting people really in. Because there's a lot of people that didn't know about a lot of stuff that was going on. You know, they didn't know about the fact that this guy had 4 girls pregnant while we was together. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that I spent months, you know, or weeks in the house with all the curtains drawn and lights off and phone off, and just under the cover on the couch crying. This very couch I'm on right now. And, you know, some people don't make it out. You know, some people really don't make it out. Some people lose everything and don't gain it back. I've watched very close people to me that are still losing, you know what I mean? And it hurts, because I open up my door and be like, yo, come, I know what it feels like to have a man, but you got to know your self-worth. And until a person is ready to walk up out of there, there's nothing that you can say, you know, until they can seek some professional help. Sometimes professional help is just needed, you know. And I'm grateful for him, you know, for even putting that in my mind, because when I did it, it was the best thing I ever did. And I've been going to therapy since then. There's a lot of stuff that I want to also unwrap, you know, about childhood molestation, childhood rape, you know, that a lot of people don't know, you know, because I've kept silent for so long. I won't put names out there, but I've kept silent for so long that, you know, there were those issues that I had to deal with, because there's a reason why I kept dealing with this one type of person. Because my ex-husband is not the first type of person that I dealt with that was a narcissist, you know, and sucked me dry of energy, you know, of good vibes, and probably didn't intentionally do it, you know, but it was done. So he's not the first person. I had to figure out through therapy, like, what is the common factor, the common denominator, you know what I'm saying? And it was because I had to deal with issues from my past. I reached out to my rapist from childhood. You know, that was really dope, because, you know, it's somebody who's close, you know what I mean? So it was a really dope feeling because I wasn't looking for any validation or any type of apology, to be honest. I just wanted to say, you know, hey, you know that what you did wasn't right. Because granted, we wasn't old. We were young. I was 7 when the touch and feeling started happening, and 14 by the time my virginity was taken, you know, a month before April 15th, a month before my 15th birthday. And I blamed it on somebody else. So I apologize to you. I blamed it on somebody else. My parents asked me because I knew from when I was 7 what was told to me. You know, if anything ever was told, I'd be the cause of their family breaking up, and I didn't want to be that cause. So it was a lot of things that I had to unpack over the last year to actually continue my healing. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to say, oh, I'm done with him, or I'm done with her, I'm moving on, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't figure out what it was that even attracted you to this negativity, I would say, because sometimes that person needs to go through their own journey and their own healing to know that, you know, they've been toxic and to fix it. So I'm gonna close that door. I'm not a bug person, and that fly is starting to bother me. But you know, sometimes you have to just be like, hey, and be the bold person, you know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, what you did wasn't right. And not so much in a, you know, confrontational type of way, you know what I'm saying? But like, I just want to let you know X, Y, and Z. And that was the best thing I did, you know what I'm saying? And I think from the moment I believe, and I feel in my heart from the moment I did that, and we actually had dialogue, you know, because we actually had a conversation, which was pretty dope. And not saying that, taken away from what happened, you know, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and some people are not fortunate enough to know that, and some people are not fortunate enough to care, you know. I'm not saying that you have to be nice towards a person or whatever the case is, but it just comes a time in life where you have to forgive and let go, right? Because you're not forgiven for them, you're forgiven for you. You're forgiven for you, so that way you can have a more healthier relationship with yourself. You know, self-love was such an important factor for me this last year. I fall in love with me. So when I started walking, it was not on the intention of losing weight, right? And then my friends put up, my second family, I should say, you know, was like, hey, we're going to go on this trip to Jamaica. Let's go ahead and just lose weight. Let's see, you know, so it became one of that. But then it became a therapy session for me where I can unload my thoughts into the world, you know, and not have it come back. It's kind of like why I wanted to be in Florida, because you could put it into the ocean and it don't come back. So it became one of those. So then during that process, it was just like a self-love journey. And that's why I can rock purple and pink hair, because I love me enough. I am enough for self. So this last year has been such a growing year. It has been such an amazing year. It has been so eye-opening, so refreshing. There's a lot of ums in here because I was not planning on doing a video until my memories on Facebook reminded me that like a year ago I started this. So that's the reason I'm doing this, and I promised myself that I'm gonna go ahead and do more videos, whether I record during the week and then upload it later. You know, I just want to go ahead and put it out there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, check my page out, follow, subscribe, share it. You're gonna see a whole lot of me, you know. And if there's anything else that you want me to go into detail about, because topics are not the easiest thing, but I want to be as transparent as possible. The next time I will show you guys my boutique. I have in a second room. I am low on inventory, so I'm doing a flash sale right now, buy 2 get 1 free. So I just want to be as transparent as possible. You know what I mean? So ask away. Ask any question you like, whatever you think, that whatever you want to know, I'll make it a topic for the next video, and I'll address it. No secrets, no hiding, no nothing. I'll repeat that. I will not put out names for what happened to me when I was younger. You know, I will not put the person on blast like that, because that is something that him and God has to work through. But as for me, I will not do that. I'm not going to destroy his image. Not that I give a flying hell about anybody else's image but my own, but you know, I'm 33 years old, so I'm just, sometimes you gotta think about shit like, what good is it gonna do? You know what I mean? At this point. So when you confront your, just like in court, you could confront your rapist, the murder of the, you know, your family. So with all of this going on in this world, I think it's so much better for us to spread love than hate. You know, it's enough of us being gunned down for no reason, so, and bashed and dragged through the mud. I think it's better to, you know, spread love and positivity than anything negative. But until next time, it's your girl Rachel Laguerre. You know, I dropped the Clark. So life after divorce, thus far has been good. My divorce was finalized last year, February 2019. So February 2020 made it a full year since I've been legally divorced. October the 9th made it 2 years since we were separated. So, you know, anything you want to know, let me know. But until next time, I'm out.